Hello everybody, welcome to my channel Max My Heartbeat. So, my name is Srinivaslu. I am teaching IIT JEE along with basic mathematics for IIT JEE for classes 11th and 12th along with basic mathematics for beginners. Okay, I hope everyone is watching my videos. I hope everyone like my videos and everyone is following my videos regularly. So students, my sincere request, please share my videos to your friends and inform them to subscribe my channel so that they too can learn the subject well. If you have improved a little, let them also improve that same little bit by seeing my videos. Okay, and don't forget about the precautions of COVID-19. So everybody take care of your health, which is must and should nowadays. Why? Because when you are healthy, then only we can do whatever we want. We can achieve our goals and be successful in life when we are alive, right? And it is our minimum responsibility to help others when they are in need. So don't forget that also. Why? Because helping each other is the best habit. So try to help others whenever necessary. Okay. So let us move to our today's concept. So we are in our concept vector algebra. We have started some concepts related to vector algebra, and now let us learn more about vector algebra in our today's class. Okay. Let me start with my first concept, that is multiplication of vector by a scalar. Okay, first concept is multiplication of vector by scalar. So if I am taking one vector a bar is equal to xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. Okay, my vector is xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. If I want to multiply with some scalar, for suppose I want m a bar, means m times of my vector a bar, then what I should do means I should multiply every scalar here, every value with my m. So mx into I bar, my into j cap plus mz into k cap. Okay, here excluding the position vectors, we have to multiply with the coefficients. So here m is multiplied by first coefficient is x, so mx into I cap plus my into j cap plus mz into k cap. For suppose, let me take my some real time example, if not original example, 3i cap plus 2j cap plus 4k cap. Okay, I want 4 times of a bar now. So 4a bar is equal to, so here every term I should multiply, every quotient I should multiply now. 4 into 3 is 12i cap plus 4 into 2 is 8j cap plus 4 into 4 is 16k cap. Okay, this is the multiplication of vector by a scalar. I hope everybody understood now. Yes? Okay, thank you. And now next let us see some properties of scalar multiplication. Okay, next concept, properties of scalar multiplication. Yes, how to multiply a scalar? By taking two vectors and one vector with two scalars. Okay, so for suppose I am taking k into a bar plus b bar. Okay, when I am multiplying the sum of two vectors with a scalar. How to multiply? Means I can take like this, that is k into a bar plus k into b bar. Understood? If I want to multiply one scalar with the sum of two vectors, with the sum of, then I can multiply separately by taking the sum separately. That is k into a bar plus k into b bar. This is the first, just nothing like that, just something like distributive property. A into b plus c is equal to a into b plus a into c. Understood? The same we can apply here for scalar multiplication. Clear? Next, second property, k plus l of a bar is equal to k a bar plus l a bar. Like this also we can do. Okay? When we are adding two scalars and multiplying by a vector is same as multiplying every my vector with every scalar with addition. Understood? So this is the second property of scalar multiplication, and this is the first property of scalar multiplication. Either we can take two scalars and multiply by vector, and sum of two vectors can be multiplied with scalar. Understood? So these are the two properties of scalar multiplication. Okay? Right? So now let us see some more concepts in our vector algebra. Next concept is angle between two vectors. Angle between two vectors. Note, in this note is very important that tail to tail should be connected. Okay. First, suppose I am taking one vector a bar and other vector b bar from here like this. I want to know the angle between these two. Is it possible now? So now it is not possible for me, because this note is very important that tail to tail should be connected to know the angle between two vectors. Okay. For knowing the angle between two vectors, for every vector, I mean for two vectors, tail of one vector should be connected to the tail of other vector. Okay. Anyhow, I said that vectors are free vectors, right? Free vectors means I can shift their positions parallel to the other side. So if I want, I can shift this vector to this side, right? In the same direction. Okay. So now I am getting tail to tail connected, so that I am getting an angle here theta. Yes, and always this angle will be 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 180 degrees. Understood? Angle between two vectors will always be 0 less than, in between 0 and 180 degrees. Even if two vectors are connected like this, a bar and b bar, we should not take the angle from here. Understood? Only we should take the angle from here only. Clear? Because no reflex angle will get in vectors. Only from 0 to 180 angle will be. Understood? So this is the concept of angle between two vectors. Okay? Next concept, very important, collinear or parallel vectors. Collinear vectors or parallel vectors. When can we say that two vectors or two or more vectors are parallel or collinear? Okay, two vectors only in general we take. Two vectors are said to be collinear or parallel. Okay, two vectors are said to be collinear or parallel if angle between them, b by w means between, okay, them is either it should be 0 degrees or 180 degrees. Means, see here, when one vector a bar is moving in this direction, then other vector b bar also is moving in this direction, then is there any chance of getting angle in between these two? No, means my angle between these two vectors is 0 degrees, right? That's why these two vectors are parallel vectors. If not, one vector is moving in this direction and other vector is moving in this direction, then also no chance of getting angle there, right? In this condition, my angle between the two vectors is 180 degrees. Understood? Only when they are in same direction or when they are in opposite direction, then only I can say that two vectors are collinear or parallel vectors. Understood? When my first vector is in east direction and the second vector is also in east direction, then both vectors are in the same direction irrespective of their length, magnitude. Okay? No need of change. No need of calculating the magnitude here. Okay? Irrespective of their magnitude, then they are moving in the same direction. Two vectors, when they are moving in the same direction, then the angle between them is 0 degrees. That's why those two angles are called collinear or parallel vectors. In the same way, if my one vector is moving in the east direction and other vector in the opposite, that is west direction, then also I am not getting any type of angle there. That's why my angle between is 180 degrees. See here, if I shift in the parallel direction, means if I can shift this like this. Yes. So that I am getting 180 degrees angle here. Understood? Like that you have to understand. Clear? Always keep in mind, same direction means 0 degrees. Opposite direction means 180 degrees. Such type of vectors will never have an angle between them. Such type of vectors will have angle 180 degrees or 0 degrees. Other than these two values, other values are not possible. Such type of vectors are called collinear vectors or parallel vectors. Clear? This is about collinear or parallel vectors. Note. Next, two important notes are there here. So let us see the first note. If two vectors, very important, are collinear, if not parallel, then first vector will be some lambda times of second vector. Understood? A bar is equal to lambda b bar. Always this condition holds when the two vectors are collinear or parallel. Understood? So here where lambda is a scalar. Okay? If not, you can take like this, x a bar plus y b bar is equal to 0. Always when these two vectors a bar and b bar are parallel, then definitely they will satisfy this condition that x a bar plus y b bar is equal to 0, where x comma y are scalars here also. Scalars is nothing but real numbers. Okay? Next, one more note. If two vectors are parallel, they are proportional. Proportional in the sense same, a bar is equal to lambda b bar. Okay, means one quotients of I cap and quotients of j cap and quotients of ratio of quotients of I cap and j cap for those vectors will be constant. Okay, so let us understand that now. Okay, let us understand this sentence. I am erasing this now. I am explaining that how we are getting that proportionality when two vectors are parallel. Okay, so I said that condition a bar is equal to lambda b bar, right? So if I want, I can take my a bar vector as a1 I cap plus a2 j cap plus a3 k cap is equal to lambda times of b1 I cap plus b2 j cap plus b3 k cap. Okay, so this one as it is, a1 I cap plus a2 j cap plus a3 k cap is equal to, now I should multiply lambda. No, already I have said no, scalar multiplication. So lambda into b1 becomes lambda b1 I cap plus lambda b2 j cap plus lambda b3 k cap. Okay, so when these two vectors are equal, then the corresponding quotients are also equal, means a1 is equal to lambda b1. This implies a1 by b1 is equal to lambda, right? In the same way, A2 is equal to lambda B2. This implies A2 by B2 is equal to lambda. Yes, in the same way, A3 is equal to lambda B3. So A3 by B3 is equal to lambda. So here my every ratio, that is A1 by B1, A2 by B2 and A3 by B3, all three vectors, all three ratios are equal to my some constant, that is lambda, right? Yes. When we are getting x by y is equal to some constant, then we can say that two quantities are proportional, right? So my vectors are proportional now. Understood everybody? This is how we have to prove that two vectors are proportional. Okay? This is about collinear or parallel vectors. Next, let us understand section formula. Very easy. So, A bar and B bar of the position vectors of my points A and B. Okay? And C is any point with in between A and B which is dividing in the ratio m is to n. Okay? Which is dividing my line segment AB in the ratio m is to n. And where A bar is the position vector of A and B bar is the position vector of B. Then my section formula is m into B bar plus n A bar by m plus n. This becomes the position vector of C. Understood everybody? When internally means inside it is dividing, then my position vector of C becomes m B bar plus n A bar by m plus n. Okay? If it is externally means n should be replaced by minus n. So m B bar plus n becomes minus n A bar by m minus n. Okay? When it is externally. Externally means C is dividing in the ratio m B bar minus n A bar by m minus n. If it is internally, then it is dividing in the ratio m B bar plus n A bar by m plus n. Okay? So these two are also very important. Next, let us move to our original concept of today's class, that is power of vectors. Very, very important. Power of vectors. Okay? If the midpoints of the consecutive sides of a quadrilateral are joined, then the resulting quadrilateral is a parallelogram. This is what we have to prove in power of vectors. Understood? If the midpoints of the consecutive sides of quadrilateral join, then the resulting quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Whatever the quadrilateral you want, you can take. For suppose I am taking my quadrilateral like this. Okay? And I am trying to join the midpoints of this quadrilateral. Okay? So, then I have to prove that whatever the quadrilateral I am getting, for suppose A, B, C, D is my quadrilateral and P, Q, R, S is the quadrilateral which I got by joining the midpoints. Okay? So now what I have to do means I have to prove that this quadrilateral whatever I am getting P, Q, R, S by joining the midpoints is a parallelogram. Okay? So further sake what I can do means I can prove that this side is parallel to this side. Okay? Okay. So how can I prove? Okay, first let me take A bar is the position vector of A and B bar is the position vector of B and C bar is the position vector of C and D bar is the position vector of D. Okay, now bit Q is the midpoint of AB, right? So that my Q becomes A bar plus B bar by 2. Okay, midpoint formula x1 plus x2 by 2 is y plus y1 plus y2 by 2, but here only my position vector is A bar and B bar, so I am getting A bar plus B bar by 2. Okay, in the same way here what I will get? B bar plus C bar by 2. Here what I will get? C bar plus D bar by 2. Here what I will get? D bar plus A bar by 2. Okay, so now if I prove that this distance is equal to, this side is equal to this side, then I can say that these two sides are equal. In the same way, when I prove that this side is equal to this side, I can say that when opposite sides are parallel, then it is a parallelogram. Okay. So now let me take the distance between these two. Okay. So distance. Wait. Distance. Yes. Okay. For suppose I want PQ bar. Okay. PQ bar means vector PQ bar I want is nothing but position vector of Q minus position vector of P, right? So that is equal to, what is the position vector of Q? A bar plus B bar by 2 minus position vector of P is B bar plus A bar by 2. Okay, so that is equal to, so A bar plus B bar minus D bar minus A bar by 2. So minus A bar plus A bar gets cancelled. B bar minus D bar by 2. This is the position vector of PQ. This is the distance PQ. Okay. In the same way, I want the distance RS, right? So RS is equal to position vector of position vector of S minus position vector of R. So that is equal to, so what is the position vector of R? Wait, yes, C plus D. So C bar plus D bar by 2 minus of, so what is the position vector of R? B bar plus C bar by 2. Okay, so this is equal to, wait, yes sir, when I am taking, I should take correctly, right? The position vector of R minus position vector of S. So here interchange. Why? Because I should take in parallel direction. However, I want, I should not take, right? When I am taking this as PQ, then I should take that as SR. Okay. So that is equal to, so position vector of R is B bar plus C bar by 2 minus position vector of P, S is C bar plus D bar by 2. So that is equal to B bar plus C bar minus D bar by 2 plus C bar minus C bar gets cancelled. B bar minus D bar by 2. Okay. Now I got here PQ as B bar minus D bar and SR also as B bar minus D bar by 2. So these two are equal. In the same way, similarly, I can prove that which two sides? Okay. QR is parallel to PS. QR is equal to PS. When opposite sides are equal, then such a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Understood? So this is how we have to prove that the midpoint of the consecutive sides of a quadrilateral are joined, then the resulting quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay? So this is my today's concept related to vector algebra. Some important topics which you have to learn to correct your to solve your problems related to vector algebra. Yes. So practice all these concepts and try to solve the problems. Okay. In the next class, we'll try to solve some problems related to this concept. Okay. I hope everyone understood all the concepts today, whatever I have explained. So meet you in the next video by tomorrow. Definitely we'll solve some problems related to all these concepts. Okay. So that's all for today. Take care. Bye.